So we did all that talking for nothing. Look
All
at
right,
that.
So do you need to start over?
We do.
Okay.
All right. Sorry about that, guys. Can you mute that one, please? Okay.
No.
Nope. Oh, give me 1 second, guys. Okay, sorry about that. We were trying to start right at 9 o'clock, so we have a new format. We've heard some feedback from some of you guys that we aren't starting right away.
Stop. We're not muted. It won't let me hit it.
All right, hold on a minute. All right. Okay, sorry about that. So we received some feedback from some of you guys that we weren't starting right away, right at 9 o'clock. And apparently we're not doing that this morning either because we had some technical difficulties. So good morning. My name is Melanie and my hair is all weirdo. And we are going to start you right off this morning with, have you ever created a card and looked at it and said, oh, this is so flat and boring, or I wish I could just make my cards a little bit more exciting? So Glitter Goblin is going to start you off this morning showing you how to add dimension to your cards, which is our top 5 Friday for this week, is adding dimension to your cards. So we're going to turn this right over to the Glitter Goblin. I'm going to switch cameras right now so we can get going. Here we go.
Okay, folks. So before we start with demos, we're going to just walk through a few ideas that you're already familiar with, just as a friendly reminder. So this is a card April made, and she's used, I think, mostly Catherine Pooler products here. And there is this like stitched embossed background. So there's some dimension there. And then the addition of the glued on die cuts that are just glued directly onto the paper adds a little dimension. And then here she's got some that are added with, this one, the Sunshine's added with foam tape, and down on the bottom, she's got multiple layers. So she's got that shiny cardstock in the back and then the yellowy green in the forefront. So you've got some nice layers there. And then this is one that Emma and I collaborated on back in the day. And there are multiple layers from the actual card base to the mat, and then there's a shadow layer for the flowers, and then we've got this Spellbinders Vivant Gold Cercle ribbon on here. And finally she added this metal butterfly. It's actually a Tim Holtz butterfly. It comes in silver, and she put the alcohol ink on it and then put it on there with I think it's actually hot glued on. But, you know, so don't forget about those little Tim Holtz things and little trinkets and doodads that you find around the store that can add some pop to a card. And then I want to talk to you and remind you about the existence of what some people call infinity dies and other people call nesting dies. We do have some of these in the store, and they are on your discount this morning. Your code this morning is Flowers 20. So we do have this Spellbinders. It's called Essential Stars. It's $22.99. And then of course you're going to get your discount on top of that. We've got these Hero Arts Infinity dies. This one is a rose. It is $24.99. This one, which is Scallop Circles by Hero Arts, is also $24.99. This is a cool one. It's kind of wonky shaped, and it's called Starry Clouds. And so, you know, you layer it up and you get this cloud-like look, but then it also cuts out these teeny tiny stars, and you can either, you know, do it on white paper and color those in, or you can put them on top of a different colored paper so the second color shows through the bottom, and they're pretty cool. So let me show you what you can do with these things. This one is made out of arches, which I think we definitely have coming back in next week, but we are currently out of right this second, but it's just piled up. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different arches piled on top of each other, and then a rub-on. And the rub-on, of course, is very flat, but when you put it on top of a great big pile of arches, then you've got your dimension. And then this is our last infinity die that we have in stock right this second. This is called the Rainbow Slice Tunnel. Now, this was part of a big set from Spellbinders last year, and I loved it. Okay. But I looked at this particular one because there was one that was clouds, there was one that was under the sea, and then there was this. And I was like, okay, it's cute, but what would I ever do with it? And so I bought this one and I took it home and I challenged myself to come up with some ways because I just didn't think a flower cutting through empty space and leaving behind a trail, that just seemed weird to me. I wanted it to be something a little bit more plausible. So here are some that I ended up making with it. This is a teacup that has the steam coming out of it. Okay, and then I use the flowers on it. And that's an old stitched Spellbinders teacup, but you can see there because it's got foam tape between the layers. And I think this particular one has foam tape between every single layer, so it's almost a little obnoxious. But that one definitely has dimension. Like you can lose a finger sticking it down in there. And this one, I had a little one of Tinkerbell's fairy friends flying through outer space and ripping a hole in the time continuum there. So that, I think there's foam between every layer of that as well. Now, some of the other ones I've done that I didn't want to be so fat, sometimes okay, like the black layer and this dark blue layer, those are just directly glued onto each other without foam. And then the next layer has a little bit of foam and the next layer has a little bit of foam. So on some of them, I started to do every other layer with foam and every other layer just glued on just because I didn't want to be quite that dimensional for sending through the mail and things. So what we're going to talk about next, April, is adding flowers to your card. And Lisa too, I saw you on here. I've got some things that you're gonna like. Hang on a minute.
My turn. Okay. Anybody like some pretty dahlias? So Elizabeth Craft has this dahlia that is $16.95. Here are your dies, and this is many layers. I think I cut this like twice. And then look at the texture. You guys see my texture? Ooh. And then there's some glossy accents on there. And then this one I think was also twice. But in comparison, if you have the Spellbinders dies that were flowers, and you didn't like working with it because look at how small that is. This is a great option. But let me show you real quick on how we shape this dahlia. Sorry, I have my pieces all right here. I'm trying not to drop them. All right, so to shape them, you just put it in here, go around the middle a little bit, and there's different ways to do it. You can do it my way, you can do it your way. You can do it Elle's way. Some people do it like this. Some people crinkle it up in a ball and then undo it. I tried that last night. I ripped every one of them. So I'm not going to do it that way, but I like to just go in the middle, go circle around. And then if you can see, I pinched these a little bit to give them a little more texture. So I did that to all of these friends. Of course, they're a little flat now because I took them apart this morning.
April, tell us what you're using there, that little pad and that little tool.
Oh, this is my Tim Holtz shaping kit. So it has,
Just bring it down a little.
oh, sorry, yes. So it has 4 different shapes or 4 different size balls to shape with. Mine's already open, so I'm just trying to grab mine. It's got these 2 sizes and then these 2 sizes. And then it comes with a pair of reverse tweezers that are straight. And then it also comes with this little foam pad. It is $29.99 and it is in the new product showcase. So back to shaping. I just roll around the middle for all of these. And I colored my flowers using Catherine Pooler ink on a acrylic block and sprayed it with water to give it the watercolor appeal. And then I like to do the brad in the middle because I think it's fun. And then I used my pointy tool to put all the little holes in there that you probably can't see. But then I stuff them together, and I don't always get them in the right size order. But flowers aren't perfect, so it really doesn't matter.
What you're doing is off camera.
Oh, sorry. Yep, I'm just stabbing. Just stabbing them. It helps that they already had holes in it, so it's a little easier for me right now. Oh, look, I got a petal turned around. Oh, maybe I can get it. Maybe I can't. That is this one. And then I put the leaves on it, but I will show you the leaves when I show you the hydrangea.
Well, that was pretty quick and easy to assemble.
It is. It is very quick and easy. And then you just cut however many layers you want. If you want to just do 5, do 5. If you want to do 10, just 10. But there's all different ways that you can, there's no wrong way, I should say, to make this flower.
Beautiful.
So that is the dahlia. Am I doing the next one now too? Okay. And then I am going to show you fun little one. So this is the hydrangea. In my world, I call it a lilac. Shh, don't tell anybody where I'm from.
It could be
1695.
You can use it as the lilac or as a hydrangea.
I don't know what the difference is. So
Hydrangeas are usually more round, and then the lilacs are usually more like that shade.
Oh, well, Teresa made us this one. Isn't it beautiful?
Gorgeousness. Look at that dimension.
Yep.
It's shiny.
It's very shiny. So even after she built it and put the little things in there, she's like, it still needs shimmer. So she put shimmer on it. And then I had made this one, which I don't like as much. Hers is way better, but it's okay.
Yeah, they're just different.
They are just different.
And then I made this one last
Now,
night.
that looks like a hydrangea.
And that is fun. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to put this one together. I already started. It is right here. And then this isn't as bad as it looks. It does cut a whole bunch of these all at once. I think I cut 3 of them, but I cut 3 of them because I wanted to make sure I had extra in case I lost any. I have 3 dogs and they steal things. So I cut a bunch out on already colored paper. And then, yes, they are small. Then you take them and put them in here, and then you just poke them in the middle. Poke them.
You're having way too much fun at that.
But it's with the ball, not anything
It
that
is
actually
with the
pokes
ball.
through.
It is with the ball. And I
Not
use this.
poking holes in it.
I use the smallest ball. But so you think you're going to put glue on each one of those? You are not going to put glue on each one of those. You're going to put a bunch of glue down here.
Oh,
And then this is where your tweezers come in really handy.
brilliant.
Get it around, put it in there.
Way easier than putting glue on the bottom of each one, right?
And it is. And you just scoot it over
You.
like this. And that's all you do. Then you just keep going. And then if you want more dimension, you want it to be a little bit taller, then you put glue on the middle of another one. You just put that one on top.
Way easier than it looks.
Yep, way easier. Okay, and while I'm here, let me show you one more thing. So these are the flowers, or the leaves that come with, these ones came with the dahlia. And if you can see, there's some texture on there. I took a stencil and some texture paste, sparkle, because that was what I had on me. And I did that, and then I let it dry. But then you do this. You kind of go over it. And then you can see that extra little texture in it. You like texture. Let's see, you can see the texture. And then you
Well,
can
and it
color
adds
these.
shadows too, so.
Yep.
That's
It
great.
adds dimension.
Dimension, the theme of the day.
Dimension.
Dimension.
Or you
That's
can
for
say
you,
it-
Diane.
No, you gotta say it like Diane.
Dimension.
There you go.
Oh, I keep sticking my finger in there. But
That's not how she says it. She says dimension. But we call it dimension when we're thinking of Diane.
and then if you need more dimension, you can also use your glassy accents and put little. That's why you always have a pin. Always have a pin.
Is that glossy accents?
So yeah, you take your glossy accent and you just put your little dabble do ya. And it gives you just a little bit more. I don't know if you can see it. I'm trying.
Oh yeah, look at the shiny.
So you can do just about anything you want here. And now Barbie's going to show you some.
Beautiful. Thank you,
Mm.
princess.
He's welcome. Get my stuff out your way. Don't fall, don't fall.
So I'm going to start by talking you through a few things. Everything I'm going to show you here for the next minute or so is from this die, the Lenten Rose die, which is $19.95, and it's one of Elizabeth Craft's new ones. So that is 2347, the Lenten Rose, and it is beautiful. I actually have these in my yard, and they bloom early in the year, like January, February. They will even bloom if it's snowing, so they are kind of amazing. All right, so I want to show you some things for starters. So you can make these any color you want. Just because the ones on the package are purpley yellow doesn't mean you have to make yours yellow. All right, so I made this one in white with the yellow center. And then in the very center of the center, I've added, it's actually a variety. It's a combination of Ranger liquid pearls and Nuvo drops, just to make the little extra dots in there. And then I've got them really shiny. And my daughter came in and saw these and she was like, Mom, it looks like a flower that should go on a lily pad. Well, in one of the world's great ironies, I was in the process of making her a frog birthday card because her birthday is tomorrow. And Goblin, baby Goblin, if you are on here, shut your eyes. All right, so here's her birthday card. All right, and it has multiple layers. That blue background, of course, is very, very flat. And then you've got one die cut here with a couple layers just glued onto the flat. The frog is popped up with a little bit of foam tape. And then the flower, because it's bent and formed, has even more dimension. So I've got these like 3 layers of dimension from the mushroom at the lowest height to the frog to the flower. And the lily pads are on the same par with the mushroom. So anyway, so she ended up with that flower on her frog. So you can make them, you know, pretty plain white if you want to. You can even make the middle part white if you just wanted like white for, you know, a christening or a wedding or something like that. You can also ink them. This one started off white. Okay, and I was trying to go for sort of the packaging look here, but I think Liz said they did this one with seedless preserves, and I don't happen to have seedless preserves at home, so I think I used Wilted Violet. I think I talked myself into that one because Violet already has a flower name, and that just made sense to me. So I've got antique linen on the very center of the flower, and then, well, the center of the purple part is antique linen. And then the centers are also antique linen. I've got that little pearl in the middle. And then I've got wilted violet around the edges. And I think I went with something a tiny bit darker, maybe villainous potion around the very, very, very edges. Okay, so that was just on a little shape card. One flower does the trick. There's your whole card. You know, put your sentiment in the middle and you are good to go. I also, let's see, this one, I used the Tim Holtz palette paper. Okay, so there's no shading, no coloring, no nada on this one. It's just cut out with that Tim Holtz palette paper. The paper itself was already flowery, this part, and then I used a solid, and then I used, so I think I used 2 from the red pack and 1 from the actual pink pack. So I got those, and this card, this will be my nephew's wedding card. He's getting married next Monday. So all of this is Tim paper, except for the very black card base. So this is that neutral. The leaves, I did not actually put gold sparkle on those leaves. That paper is green with yellow flecks on it. And so I cut the leaves out of that. And then the flowers are all out of the yellow paper, except this layer right here, which is some of that pink or red. I can't remember which one, but so, you know, if you don't want to spend your time shading and coloring flowers, you can just use printed paper. And then here's another one I made yesterday. Okay, so this one, everything I've shown you so far is just one layer of flower. And this does come with 3 different sizes. Okay, so you can cut these 3 flowers, and then it cuts the 3 center pieces all at once and the 3 sort of stameny pieces all at once. And you get your leaves and groupings here. And then there's a bud if you want to cut that. And there's a few pieces where you can layer on different shading with the bud, and a stem if you want to use that. I haven't used some of those pieces, but anyway, here is the same exact flower, same thing, only I put 3 layers of it together and a gemstone in the middle. So you get a completely different look. And that's just pattern paper that I found laying around in the store. And if I had to do it again, I think I would go back and shade the edges, maybe a little vintage photo so that the layers are more standing out from one another. But that's another way to do that flower. Okay, so what I want to demo for you real quick is this. Now, I have a similar kit to what April was showing you. These are not available anymore as far as I can tell. I looked on Sizik's website and tried to get some, but I'm showing them because some of you from a couple of years ago, this is what we had for sale at the August retreat when Alexis Trimble came and did flower making with us. So this one has a little felt pad, then it's got a small pair of very sharp scissors, tweezers, 2 sets of the balls. This set's a little bit different in that it's got big ball on one end, and this is an actual flower twisting tool. I don't probably can't see it. All right, here we go. It's got a little slit in it, so you can slit your paper into that and then give it a twist, and it'll curl up your petals and things. And I'll show you that in a little bit. But anyway, if you have that kit, go ahead. You can go ahead and use that as well. This piece is foam, as is the piece from the Tim Holtz kit that April was using, the black piece that she was using. It's foam. So when you're pressing into it with the balls and you're pushing your paper down, that's causing the indentions. So here we're going to do a wonky flower. I've used this really weird paper that I found at the store this morning, and it's just purple with these big yellow circles on one side, and on the other side, it's got this little print pattern. So I cut it. I put the dies so that yellow would be in the middle. I thought, what the heck, should be interesting. All right, so I'm going to turn the flower upside down, and I'm going to start with not the very biggest ball because it's a fairly small flower, but I'm going to start with one of the bigger ones, and I'm just going to be in the center here. And I'm going to go around, and just that motion of going around in a circle picks your flower up like this. All right, and can you go a little lower on the camera for a minute?
Zoom in here.
Yes.
We can do that.
All right, we're going to zoom a second so you can actually see what I'm doing a little bit better. And I picked this up from Liz on Elizabeth Craft, and what she was doing, she's like their main flower former. She was just going around the outside of each petal, and it gives it a little bit of a curvature. So I'm trying to show you a little bit slowly on this first one. I'm just more or less tracing around the edge. And I'm going to do that on all 5 petals real quick. It just gives it a little bit more form. And then if you want it to be really, really curled, what you can do is start at any tip and press down and bring it towards the middle. And it just curls that flower up. And you can get real serious dimension this way. So it curls the flower up. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it and flip it upside down and just take the ball and press it in. And so there's my Lenten rose. And each petal kind of has its own little arc. And so it's not laying flat, no petal, like there's tips of it and stuff, and maybe a little edge here and there that are touching the foam, but most of them are actually raised up off the foam. All right, so doing that again really quickly just to the other one. And you can see how fast this is. And again, of course, if I weren't sitting here talking to you and trying to explain it all, I'm going around the outside edge. Of course, this would be much faster. I don't want you to think the flower actually takes this long. But going around the outside edge, and then again, if I want to, I can pull them towards me and really get them curving just by making that center line from the tip to the center. It doesn't work in the other direction. You got to start at the tip and pull it to the center. And then I'm turning over to the other side, pressing that down. And now April showed you putting it together with a brad. I've been using glue, just my Bearly Art glue. So I would just glue those 2 centers together and then maybe put something in the center, a gemstone, some Nuvo drops, some Ranger liquid pearls, a little something, something, and ta-da, that is done. And the leaves, I think you could do 2 different ways really quickly. I think you could do that same sort of trace around the outside if you wanted to. And if you wanted them to have even more curvature, you can do that line from the tip to the center. And then those will be puffing up outside of your flower. And you've got that dimension. Or these particular leaves, if you look at them really carefully, each of them do have a center line. And you could take something like your pokey tool, something that's kind of long and narrow, and sort of set it on that center line and give it a little squeeze, fold around it. Okay, I see my hands were in the way of what I was doing, so I'm going to try again to show you that. And then unfold it a little bit, and you've got it. So where this one, the leaves are curving down, this one, the leaves are curving up. So it just depends on the look that you want. So I'm taking this, I'm just kind of laying it on that middle fold line. And then from the bottom, I'm pinching the sides up a little bit around that fold line. And that way it doesn't crease 100%. It doesn't give me that crazy line that I wouldn't want in a flower, but it still gives me that dimension and that upward little curve. Okay, so there we go. And that's it for demo. Let me show you one more set of flowers, and then we'll have April come in and show you some of the rest of these new products that we have. All right, so again, Elizabeth Craft has these cherry blossoms. They are $16.95. I forgot we resumed them. And it is 2244 cherry blossom. Again, I want to show you just the contrast. This is a Spellbinder's peach blossom. You could see that they look very similar. And just the difference in the size. So if you're like me and you have a whole bunch of these old Spellbinders ones and you've literally never opened them, this is mine, brand new, and you literally never opened them because you got it and you looked at all those little pieces and you were like, oh, no, I don't think so. These Elizabeth Craft ones are much bigger. And here, speaking of dimension, I've set my cherry blossoms on one of those Tim Holtz pillow boxes.
Oh,
so I've got
is it pillow box? Does that have like a wood texture around it?
Yes, I did
Yeah,
emboss it with the wood texture. I embossed the pillow box with the wood texture and put it together. Pro tip, if you're ever going to do that, make all your folds first. Make them really hard with your bone folder. Thank you.
Yep.
And then emboss it, because then you can still find your fold lines. If you cut it, emboss it, and then try to fold it, you can hardly tell the difference between your embossed lines and your fold lines.
Well,
and that stinks.
Because you're both folding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. No good. All right, April.
Your turn.
So April's going to show you the goods for the week.
So let us know if you guys kind of like this new format where we're not just giving you all the announcements in the morning and then showing you all the products and then doing a demo, but that we're demoing things as we're showing you the new products. Let us know if you guys like that new format. We took a lot of your feedback that we heard and we're trying to put it into place. So let us know what you think. All right, Princess, it's all you.
Me?
Yep, you.
Okay. All right. So, friends, we know how much you love us, and we know how I'm able to influence you. So I'm going to do it again.
Are we going to say damn it, April?
I think Diane has said darn it, April, a few times lately.
Okay.
Okay. So this bundle right here is $99.99.
Woo!
It comes with this binder that is 5x5. 5x5. It has 2 rings. Well, that is the bundle price. Unless I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure. So it only has 2 rings, unlike the other memory journals that have 3 rings. Then it comes with a whole bunch of stamps and dies, which I will show you. And then it comes with a pad of paper. Yes. Thanks. I'd show you my paper, but mine's all cut up.
Diane just said, dang it.
Thanks, Diane. All right, so this is the paper that comes with it. We'll go quick. This is considered their bonus. And
Oh, pretty.
and there's a lot going on here. But if you don't like that page, look at this page. Insane. So they also took their pages and made them, some of them have 4 6x6 blocks. So it's almost already ready to go in your book. And then there's the bicycle. And if you notice, there's a bicycle on the package. Then we have our veggies and some more blocks. Then our fruit and some more blocks. And then you have your page that you can cut apart and have your borders or your little ephemera or wood. And then some more pages that you can cut apart for ephemera or the solid purple. And then green. I really like this one because it's purple. And then this one that's kind of like, I don't even know what that is. Pretty. That's what it is. It's pretty.
Yeah.
And then we have that page. And then here's Teresa's page. And it's orange and not. And here's another one. It's yellow. And then more roses on the back. And then there's green squares. And then 4 different colors on the back. So there is the paper. And now let me show you the stamps and dies that come with this. So here are, oh, I got an extra piece of plastic in it. So here's the stamps. This one and this one have dies to go with them. But you got springtime, joy, blossom, bloom, play, beauty. April showers brings me flowers. Spring is a time for plan and projects. And then, look at all of these dies.
Woo. Wow.
Here's
That's
your
a
die
lot.
to cut out the little girl. And here is your die to cut out the flower. All right. I don't even know where to start for you guys. All right. This one cuts your basic page. But if you don't like a square page, you can cut your page and then put a scalloped edge on it. Or you can layer it and have a scalloped page on top of it. Or you can have a postage end on it. And then you just have these like designy looking.
Those ends like that. Do you just put it in when you're cutting the.
No, you cut the paper first and then you put that on the end to cut that out. I don't even think it would fit. In my luck, I would cut my die because that's how I work. Okay, and then you've got this cute little frame. I can't pick them up. You got a regular frame, a postage frame, and I was a little surprised because I thought it was going to cut out the whole thing. Well, it does, but this part comes out for both of them. Then you have your little corner hugger, and you have 3 different types of pole enforcers. You have flowers, tulips, and raindrops. And then you have a couple more shapes. Then we have a bicycle. And here's, oh, I lost a stamp. Here's the wheel. And then I had to figure these parts out. So bear with me. And then this goes on, this is your pedal. And, ooh, I don't remember what that part is. Maybe that goes on your handlebar. And then here is your basket that goes on the back of your bike. It's very cute. Okay, and then you have your umbrella that has 3 different pieces. All right, this one does cut out this die, the spring seasons. And then this is supposed to be a splat, I think. However, April doesn't do things the way everybody else does things. So here is your flower. I put the splat in it, and then I put that center in it, and it gave me this little flower. And I think it looks like it belongs there.
That's awesome.
So then you have your leaves that go with it. And you just have tons of pieces. You got smaller flowers, you got your rain boots. So you can have 2 layers if you want, or 1 layer if you want. Then let me show you what I did with mine. So I did use Annette's last collection with this, the one that had the bumblebee. This flower die actually has a little flower attached to it. It goes over here. I just cut it off so that it fit on the page. And then the paper looks like honeycomb, so I had to put my bee on there. And the little girl, because she's so stinky cute. Here's the ephemera that I cut out, put on there. This flower that we just showed you guys. And then I just put these down with some foam dots for dimension. And then I got my little sparkles in there. And more dimension. Here's the corner hugger that you could also use as a pocket. Mine is holding my flowers in. And I made this page a little pocket with that cute little boy. And here is the bicycle. And all the different pieces that go with it. Oh yeah, I forgot to point out there's a seat in there too. And then I cut play out of the back of one of the papers, and then I used the other side of the paper for the border, put my little girl in there. And then there's the scallop edge that I made it a pocket. And the flower, and the little rain boots, and the little umbrellas.
So cute.
And then there's astrolabes. So there's so much you can do with it, and there's so much more I'm going to do with it. That's just where I am now.
That's awesome.
Okay, and then we have some Stamperia.
New Stamperia. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
We have the junk journal for House of Roses. So this collection was released a while ago, but they just released the junk journal that goes with it.
And House of Roses is one of the best-selling Stamperia collections that we ever had.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
So it is $29.99. I'm just going to flip a couple pages because I still have much more to show you. Look how beautiful and vibrant. There's your stickers. And with the regular collection, they don't have people in them. So this, they've added some people. And it's just pretty. There's your punch outs. There's Diane's kitty cat. Beautiful. So $29.99 plus you get your 20% off. And then here's the one Diane is most excited about. Gardens of Time. Here is the junk journal, $29.99 again. We got our steampunk happening here.
Woo!
Look at that paper.
Diane, what do you think of that?
She can't wait for hers to be delivered.
I know.
It's in the mail. Look at the gears. Here's your stickers. Look at that cute little boy. He's adorable. Some punch outs. These butterflies are awesome. I love this. Black and white. And that's fun. Just put some pops of colors here and there. Beautiful. Here's some more stickers. With black and white. There's some punch outs. Some more punch outs. Some little frames. And for all of us that love our fussy cutting, here's a whole bunch of words. At least they're straight and you can use your paper cutter. All right, so then they did something different with this one. And they did a focus points. And this one has 8 backgrounds and 8 cutout pages. And it goes with it. So it's got a few extra pages. And then it has, skip some of that, skip some of that. Whole page of flowers, a whole page of the girl, pipes, which were in the other one. I don't think. No, not as many. Some gears. Look at the clocks. Look at the more clocks. Butterflies. Little tags. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. And that one is $22.99. And then we got this stencil in that goes with it. Don't remember what it's called, but it's a tree on the planet. And then we have the background paper, which I will show you quickly. We have it in 8x8 and 12x12. The 8x8 is $11.39 and the 12x12 is $19.99. Look at how pretty. Hey, Diane, cut these out and stick them in that little Tim pocket watch for your face. Or even the little lens one and make that what you see out of your lens. Oh. All right. So, Beautimus, Beautimus, Beautimus.
Love it, love it, love it. It's gorgeousness.
But wait, there's
Oh,
more.
wait, there's more. There's always more. Oh, wait, there's more.
All right, we got 2 new coloring books in that are good for watercoloring. $4.99 each. We have this little perfectly portable pages. Wait, that's not the name of it. What's the name of it?
I don't know.
There was a name, I promise. I don't know, but it's cute. It gives you a little bit of information, some techniques, and then pages. So if your water does go through, it doesn't bleed onto your other picture on the back. And then we have one with animals and flowers. This one's more like Zen dangle doodle, but lots of fun to color.
What else we got? What else we got? Oh, this is sneak peek, sneak peek,
Sneak peek. Oh, you saw them.
Okay, that was it.
All right. And then we got the ephemera pack back in that goes with the Faded Memory Lane. This is $9.99 and 118 pieces. Look at all those pieces. That's just a couple pieces. But I also think this could go with just about any collection because it's mostly the browns. And then
You know, there was a time where it was put those back in the there was a time where the only place you could get things like this were the Tim Holtz ephemers and the baseboards and stuff like that. But the fact that 49 Market is putting them out in a big pack like this is amazing. Kevin, my friend Kevin will probably like that. Yes, you should look at those, Kevin. They're really cool.
All right, and then that Prima collection that we got, Among the Wildflowers. This tag book is $7.99. It has 40 sheets. They're 3x6.
And this is a restock, right? Because the other ones sold out.
Yes, and guys, we have a couple extra, so
they sold out faster than we could. We didn't even get them on the shelves.
Sorry, I can't get it open, but they're all beautiful color pages. The backs all have lines, so you can jump. You can journal on the back of them. Leave a note. Yeah, words are hard, guys. So we have lots of these. And then to go with it, they have this ephemera that is on vellum. 76 pieces for $7.99. Look at those.
Vellum ephemera.
Look at those. So I'm making a birthday card for somebody who's not watching because she's celebrating her birthday in New Orleans. And her birthday card's got lots of bees. So I added these bees to them. Look at all those. And there's 2 each. So that is $7.99. And Melanie, that's all I got.
All right, let me jump over there. Let's switch our cameras over really quick. And if you missed that sneak peek, I'm going to show it to you again.
Are you?
I am.
Okay. Okay, you can show them.
Okay. Well, we're going to have to switch cameras when I get ready to do that and have the announcement thing ready too. So when we finish. All right. I'm going to show you the sneak peek here in just a second, but I need you all to be watching our socials on Monday and watch your email on Monday because this little sneak peek you will see on Monday. Yes?
Yes.
Yes. And then there are some other really cool things. A super fun new tool from Sizzix, guys. Super fun. Unbelievable.
And?
What was that?
Sizzix and?
Sizzix and. Yes. Just Sizzix.
Oh, just Sizzix. Huh?
Just Sizzix. Not going to say who. Special designer that we might meet in August.
Oh, there's no clues there.
No. All right, let's switch over to the camera. I'm going to give you another quick sneak peek of this and be watching your emails on Monday. We are ready for you to switch. Oh, here we go. Okay, you can switch back. All right, guys. So new format. We started this week. We've been listening to you. And are you having a problem?
No.
Okay.
Problem.
So we've been listening to you and we wanted to make sure that we were giving you exactly what you were looking for. So what we heard from a lot of you is that you were waiting for a long time for us to get started. And a lot of you aren't locals that are watching us. And we were doing all of the announcements for all the locals in the beginning. And you guys wanted us to get right into it. So we're changing the format, and announcements and classes and stuff like that are going to come now at the end as soon as April is ready to share her screen. We are going to say goodbye and you're going to be going out with the ScrappyShak song. Are you having a hard time?
Yeah.
Okay, let me help her. Hold on one second, guys.
Because it's not showing that as an option to share.
Oh,
so
interesting.
I don't know how to share that.
I don't either. All right, well, let me give you the announcements because unless April wants to come over here and chit chat while I try to figure it out, but I'll just give you the announcements.
Well, I can hold this up over there and we can show them.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna keep trying to figure it out.
All right, she's gonna keep trying to figure it out. So we still have like 9 more minutes. Give us some questions. Do you guys have any questions that we can answer for you today? Let us talk to you. Come on.
Oh, I got it.
Oh, she got it. Hi, Lynn. How are you? How are you? Oh, yeah, Diane, you're right. We did not talk. You need to, before you share it, you need to put it on slideshow mode.
I just did.
Oh, there we go. Okay. So hang on a second.
But I don't know why our music isn't playing.
I don't either. Who
Probably
knows?
because I'm muted.
Yeah, that's probably why. So it's okay. That can stay on the screen while we talk. Giveaway. For those of you who didn't see the unbelievable amount of times that we posted this on social media this week, we are doing a huge Sizzix package giveaway. And our announcements are kind of scrolling through, so you can be watching those as we talk. But we're doing a huge Sizzix giveaway. We have a series of 4 videos of the stamp and stencil tool and the accessories that go along with it on our YouTube page. If you need the links, they're in our Facebook everywhere, all over our Facebook. And you just need to watch all 4 videos, comment on them for your favorite part, and then find the secret word. And here's a clue, guys. The secret word is going to pop up in the upper right of your screen within the first 2 minutes, of each of those videos. All the videos are not released yet. So 3 of them have been released. So we've done, actually 1 is getting released, I think at 10 this morning. So we did, so that'll be episode 3. And then episode 4 will be released on Monday.
Oh,
Once you
Monday.
collect, yep.
Oh.
I wonder what that could be on Monday. So episode 4 will be released on Monday. And then once you've collected all 4 words, you've commented on all the videos, follow us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, then you can go to the entry form and put yourself in to win. Sizzix is giving away a stencil and stamp tool, a stamp and spin tool, another new tool that might be coming out on Monday, or it might not. Yep. And then a whole big pile of stencils and stamps to go along with it. So you can't win. I know. I'm sorry. You can't win though. So big shout out to Sizzix. Thank you, Sizzix, for that. But it's going to be a huge prize package that is going to go out to one very, very lucky winner. The secret word is Kevin 1. I don't know about that, Kevin. We'll see. But you know what, Kevin? We win because you're our friend.
Oh,
how about that?
Mushy,
No,
mushy.
Diane, you cannot win. You're a part owner of ScrappyShak. That cannot work.
Diane,
All right, we are going
can you fire
to.
me for Monday?
Diane does not have the authority to hire and fire, unfortunately,
Mhm.
because she said she doesn't want it. So we're going to go ahead and say sayonara and send you out with the ScrappyShak song. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you guys next week.